I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. All right, guys, we are going to get right into this. Today is Wednesday, December the 14th, 2022. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give, you know what, Phyllis and Jeremy are what really interested me in this episode. Everybody else was like, okay. So I'm going to give them an 8. All right, we see Billy and Daniel. Daniel is again at Noah's place. He's having a drink, he's working, and Billy comes up. And I said, listen, Billy, if you don't want to have these confrontations with people, then maybe you should stop always being the one to come up to them, because you could have sat anywhere else at this restaurant, this, I don't know, what do you even call it, this club. But I guess during the day it's more like a restaurant slash lounge. But anyways, you could have sat anywhere else, but you sit down with Daniel, and then they start going back and forth on, Billy. And he pretty much is telling Billy, like, man, when Lily needed you the most, you abandoned her. She's going through a lot, and nobody for some reason seems to see everything that Lily has going on. They always have so much empathy for everyone else, but for some reason when it comes to Lily, they don't. And I guess that's why I'm kind of starting to turn towards her side and seeing this with Billy, because it was like what, because Billy said, I quit the corporate world because that wasn't my purpose. He said, to do what? And Billy said, excuse me. He said, you quit to do what? And Billy is just like, well, I quit. I don't have to be lectured by you. And he said, I'm just saying, you quit the corporate world at the time when Lily needed you the most. And she was going through a lot with Chancellor Winters, with family wise, with Nate leaving. And he was sabotaging them, the IPO. She was going through a lot, trying to keep it together. And in that moment when she needed you to be solid, you left her hanging. And so Billy is just like, I don't have to take this from you. And so I said, well, do you stop sitting down with these people and they wouldn't treat you this way. But Daniel said, what the thing that I'm working on, because Billy keeps, I don't know why everybody's so interested in asking this man what is he working on. He said, but it helps people find their purpose. I said, not Daniel doing this. But he did. So then we see Tucker and Ashley. And so he's at Jabot and he asks her out to lunch. And she says, okay. So he takes her to an outside lunch, but he has heaters and everything going. And he brought in food and drink from her favorite places. And she was like, you remember? He said, I remember everything. And so then he started talking about Devon, right? And how he would love to work with Devon the way Nate got to. And so she said, is that what you're trying to do? Get a piece of Chancellor Winters and Jabot? She said, because I remember Diane telling Jack you wanted financials. And he says, I thought you said you didn't believe that. She said, no, I didn't say that. I said you would be stupid to do that. And he said, well, what if I open a, helped you build your own empire away from Jabot? And I said, well, I mean, I think all of them should be independent. I really do. But anyways, that's what he asked her, and we'll see. So then we have Lily and Tracy. And I said, Lily, you are still in the same spot. Like, you are never in the office because it's the middle of the workday. But anyways, Tracy's trying to talk to Lily, and Lily is distracting them. When she comes to, she's like, oh, Tracy, I'm so sorry. But anyways, Tracy starts talking to Lily about Thanksgiving and how she said she could see that she and Billy were two people reading a book, but they were not on the same page. And she said that's the correct metaphor for it. And so Tracy is just like, what's going on? And so she tells her, like, Billy is just finding his purpose again. And Tracy is just, listen, no, he's did this several times over many years. And she was just hoping that, he would settle down. But she understands as well that it's frustrating for Lily. She said, I know you've been going through a lot. And I thank you for being there, for Billy when he goes through everything. And but Tracy completely understands Lily's point of view on this. And so she's just telling her, I hope couples go through rough spots. So I hope this is just a rough patch for you. But I don't know. Lily is just like, I don't know, Tracy. I don't know. It's just, she doesn't know anymore. And so, but Tracy wants her to keep working, keep fighting for her relationship with Billy. I said, but you can't fight when you're the only one fighting. Like, because what Daniel said is true and what Tracy said is true. Lily needed Billy at times too, and he was not there. He was too busy chasing, like after Victoria, when they were first launching the company, and she needed him to focus, on work. He was all worried about Victoria with Ashlyn. And then when she needed him because Nate was doing everything, he was too busy focused on Chelsea. It's like he's always focused on everyone but Lily. So then we see Harrison, who is making remarks that, where's Dee Dee? I want to see Dee Dee. I want to be around Dee Dee. And so they are just like Dee Dee. They try to tell him, Dee Dee had to go away, but she'll be, they don't want to say she'll be back, but you know, but they call Kyle because he's with Dee Dee and everything. They call Kyle and he because Harrison is just like, well, is she gonna be back for Christmas? Like, what's happening? What's going on? And he's confused. So, anyways, they settle Harrison down, and then Jack and Summer talk, and she just tells him, I don't understand how, she said, even though we know my mom did this thing, why is it that you have so much forgiveness for Diane, but you don't have any for Phyllis? And he says, what I heard Jack say was because Phyllis is not a good person. Like, and Summer says, I do know she gets in her own way. And he was like, well, she's not a good person. She always does these things. And I can't just say, oh, that's Phyllis. But you do manage to say, oh, that's Diane, because Summer is right. Diane's been lying about everything. And he says, but I understand it. Of course you do. You want to be with Diane. Like, I'm not mad at it that you want to be with Diane. So of course you make more, you understand it more. The same way Phyllis had you catch her with Diane coming down the stairs. Diane was happy to brag about, oh, I spent the night at the Abbott household and everything. But you don't hold that against Diane. It just is what it is. He holds Phyllis to different standards than what he does to Diane, because she's been lying since they met as Taylor Jenkins. She's been lying since the first day she came back about her name and everything. But it is what it is. So Summer's just like, okay, thank you for understanding. I just always hope you and my mom could get back together. So then we see Jerry meets with Phyllis, right? So she meets with him, child, and he tells her, you're the one who called. And she says, no. And then he says, I wanted to meet face to face because I want to see the truth in somebody. And he said, I want to look in your eyes and see the truth. He said, you were the one to call. And she finally admits that, yes, I was the one who called you. And he said, okay. And then she said, but he said, what made you think that there was information on the feds? And she said, I don't know. She's not giving it up. She's not giving it up any information, any other information to him. She said, I'm sorry, I wasted your time. I inconvenienced you, but I don't know that for sure that Diane was the one who did it. It's just speculation that she was the one who did it, but Diane did it. And this man, if he really wanted to find out, he would know who it was. But she just tells him, I'm sorry. And he says, well, I need to make apologies to Diane, and where, and she tells him, no, I'm serious. Nobody's telling me where she is. I really don't know where Diane is. And he was like, it's too bad. But I still think Jeremy and Phyllis are going to get together. And I'm like, girl, why are you sitting here so terrified of this dang man? Like, I don't know. Why are you so terrified? Anyway, so Phyllis goes to Jack and Summer, and he says, I want nothing to do with you. And she says, I need to talk to y'all about Jeremy Starks. And I said, Phyllis, why are you running to Jack? Why are you running? Like, I like Phyllis, so I get tired of her putting herself in a position to continuously be hurt by Jack. Leave this man alone, Phyllis. He don't want you. He don't care about you. He actually, the venom that you thought he was going to spew on Diane, he gives that to you because he wants to be with Diane. So leave him alone. But anyway, she tells them that she told the truth, and she told Jeremy Starks, and she said he's not leaving town. He said, did you convince him to leave town? And she said, no, because he's saying that Diane owes him something. And Summer looking like, what? Um, and he said, because she knows about the money or whatever, but Summer's looking like, because no one else knows that Diane's, used the money. And so, but he skeeted right over that and told her, I told you to leave him alone. I said, once again, Jack, whose father are you? You're not her dad. And he says, I'm done with you. And she was like, done with the Jabot or me? And he was like, both. And he was like, if it was left up to me, I'd fire you right now. And he said, but Kyle and Summer have to make the decision. I hope they make the right decision. So she turns around to Summer, and I said, Phyllis, how many times are you gonna let this man talk to you like you are a child? You are not a child. And even if you knew the risk with putting up your company to try to get to work at Marchetti. You knew the risk. So, and you got the money because Lily made you, from what we know, Lily paid you a hefty sum to sell the Grand Phoenix. Go do something else. But leave these people alone. You know what I mean? Just leave these people alone. And that was Young and the Restless, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for an audio episode of What Happened on the Soaps, the Young and the Restless edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.